Fox News alert, the U.S. Embassy in Kyiv now shut down over the threat of a Russian air attack. This comes after President Biden gave the green light for Ukraine to start using ATACMS missiles to strike inside Russia for the first time. Vladimir Putin officially lowering the threshold for the use of nuclear weapons, which he always says. Fox News chief foreign correspondent and Black Saturday author Trey Yingst joins us now after his interview with President Zelenskyy yesterday. We're going to hear a little bit more of that in a moment. First off, Trey, you've been there when the war first started. You go back now. What's the big difference?
Yeah, Brian, good morning. Many things here in Ukraine are actually the same as they were about 2.5 years ago when the Russians launched that ground invasion on February 24th of 2022. Just hours after we arrived in the country, air raid sirens were sounding from Kyiv to Lviv, sending millions of people to bomb shelters as the Russians continue both air and ground attacks. They're using now Iranian drones and missiles to target major population centers here. And there's real concern today that following that approval from the Americans, allowing the Ukrainians to launch long-range missiles into Russian territory, that there will be further Russian retaliation. We heard air raid sirens earlier today in the Ukrainian capital of Kyiv. And the U.S. Embassy here in this population center of about 4 million people issued a rare alert this morning. They said the U.S. Embassy in Kyiv received specific information of a potential significant air attack on November 20th. The embassy will be closed and recommends U.S. citizens be prepared to immediately shelter in the event of an air alert if one is announced. This is significant and, again, unprecedented to see the embassy close here in the Ukrainian capital. Earlier today, I spoke with the mayor of Kyiv, Vitaly Klitschko. He was warning civilians here to stay close to shelters, but he wanted to emphasize one point, saying that Ukraine has been under attack for more than 1,000 days and that missile attacks against this city and other major population centers across the country aren't rare at all.
Yeah, yesterday we understand there were 8 missiles, 2 were knocked down by the Russians. We don't know about the damage. Here's a little, Trey, more of your interview with President Zelenskyy. You have not seen, they have not seen at home yet. You lived it. Watch.
Have you accepted that under any sort of ceasefire agreement or peace deal that some Ukrainian territory may remain in Russian hands?
We cannot legally acknowledge any occupied territory of Ukraine as Russian. That is about those territories which used to be occupied by Putin before the full-scale invasion since 2014. Legally, we are not acknowledging that. We are not adopting that. On the other hand, we understand that so far we do not have that much of force, so that in the weapons with our hands, we could push Putin back to the line of 1991.
When we look at the diplomatic red lines for the Russians, the other side of this ultimate negotiation that will take place one day, one of those red lines is Crimea, a portion of Ukraine that was annexed in 2014. President Vladimir Putin has been very clear Crimea will never return to Ukrainian hands. Are you willing to give up Crimea in pursuit of a peace deal to end this war and stop the bloodshed in Europe?
I was already mentioning that we are ready to bring Crimea back diplomatically. We cannot spend dozens of thousands of our people so that they perish for the sake of Crimea and come back. And still, it's not the fact that we can bring it back with the arms in our hands. So we understand that Crimea can be brought back diplomatically.
So
we spent more than 10 hours with Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelenskyy along the eastern front lines, and he says they will continue fighting even if U.S. support is cut. But he did tell us he believes Ukraine will lose the war if Ukraine loses military funding from the United States.
Trey, real quick, you were there in the beginning of the war with him. You've interviewed him before. He looks the same. I mean, for a guy that's not seeing his family, every day he's at war for 1,000 days. What is your takeaway?
Yeah, he was jovial. He was very talkative about the situation on the ground. And later today on Fox, we'll have more information about what he told us regarding those long-range U.S.-supplied missiles. I asked him, have you considered this? Is this true? Is the Biden administration willing to let Ukraine fire these missiles into Russia? And he said, not yet. We haven't fired any today. Hours later, according to reports, Zelenskyy ordered those strikes into Russian territory. And so he still is very active in the process, despite being a relatively young leader with not a lot of military background. But we do know he wants to continue the fight, and he is calling on the incoming administration to support him in those efforts. Brian?
There are bad guys in this fight, and it's not him, and it's not the Ukrainians. Trey, thanks so much. Great job. Look forward to seeing more of your interview. From one war zone to another. Pick up a copy of Trey's book, Black Saturday. It is excellent. Thank you, Trey Yingst.
I'm Steve Doocy.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.